I don't know why I hit pause, everybody, but Julie's about to leave, but I wanted to. You're welcome. I love you. All right, be safe. I'll see you when you get back. Yes. All right, so good morning and welcome in, everybody. I hope that this audience is having a beautiful, blessed, all-inspiring start to the morning. I hope we have a nice viewing audience. I hope a lot of people have been paying attention to our commodities talks, guys. I've been talking yesterday. I said bought back in or was buying back into Dolly Varden. I talked about how the miners looked like they were getting ready for the next leg up, especially with earnings. First Majestic had a 8% downturn, which was exactly what you want to see on perfect earnings. All-time record of silver. And now what happens today? What I ended up doing was, like I said yesterday, B2 Gold dropped under $4, came down another 4% today. I picked up 222 shares at $3.81. I bought back Dolly Varden at $3.76, 1,222 shares, so an extra 222 from where I was at. And then Silver Corp, I also picked up yesterday the 1,000 shares back because it seems like we're getting ready to round this thing. And I looked in and I have 400 Barrick. I kept saying 300, but I have 400 Barrick, 300 Pan America Silver, and then I have 1,000 Hecla, 1,000 Fortuna Silver Mines, 1,000 First Majestic, and then also obviously the 1,000 Silver Corp, 1,222 Dolly Varden. I always like to start out very transparent when I talk about commodities so people understand. I have like in value right now, it's like 95,000 in commodities, so it's nothing small. But oh my God, Hecla's going crazy, up 26%. I love Hecla so much. The single largest silver producer in the USA. B2 Gold is taking it on the chin. Take advantage of opportunities like that. The reason I bought B2 Gold, now it's in the exact spot I bought it. It back tested the breakout. I've talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. After a very long and sustained downtrending channel, it started in 21. We have to back test these moves. So I said I'm going to buy more. So I sold 500 and something at 5 something and bought back 222 here because I want to keep some of this capital free for other ventures, as you know. But 3,222 shares, which is what I feel good about. But yeah, just playing the commodities. Commodities are going to make, it's not done yet. I've been trying, they're not done. We should crush earnings. Like Hecla is just, there's got to be some kind of expectation here. Let's see what's going on with Hecla. Oh yeah, they crushed it. They're expecting 0.097 in earnings. They got 0.12 up 23. They beat it by 23.69%. And in revenue, they were reporting 409.54 million. They were only expecting 295. That's a 38% beat, better than 114 million more revenue than they expected. Yeah, this is great. This is what I was expecting. And we're going to get into the charts. Don't worry, I wasn't expecting to start with commodities. First Majestic, and this was from acquisitions. Remember, we talked about how they could take it on the chin initially, but this is just going to reverse back up. And it's only, they only missed by so much because they had it estimated at 0.103. That's a pretty high. They still had 0.07 when they reported. Surprise, they missed by 32%. I think that's by design. Remember, what gets lost in this is First Majestic produced the most silver they ever have. Do you know what that means? They chose not to sell the silver in that quarter, and they're carrying it on for higher prices. In their earnings, they announced that most silver they've ever produced. That's so super bullish. I take advantage of that. Anyhow, good morning. 9:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because most couldn't care less about all that sector. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Yesterday we did FOMO Fridays, or Winning Wednesdays, I mean, and we targeted XDC. Severely oversold in the daily, severely oversold in the weekly, and it looked like it was the one that was kind of looking like it was getting ready for a little bit of a reversal. We don't know how profound it's going to be. but it at least looked like it wants to come back to back test. Well, now it has back tested that drop point, it looks like. Let's see. Oh, no. We could come back up here. Now, that doesn't mean we won't come down here and back test or fall back out. What it means, though, is we would typically back test the broken structure here, which should get us up closer to 5.92 cents. But I digress because most are here for XRP. And let's face it, I've already gone how long without even mentioning? Oh, it's not been that long. But so XRP right now at $2.26.5. Are we surprised that we're going down in the immediate? No, I drew this out yesterday. The inverse right shoulder, if we're going to create it, we would hold somewhere like I drew it out. Otherwise, you would fall through. But that's why I drew that out yesterday. Because it had to come around the top. We hit the resistance. Then we come back down. And then we would try to create some kind of right shoulder if we're going to make the inversion. Now, it could come farther. But yesterday, this was just up. So I was just drawing it down. But I think this is a good interpretation. Now, I should have drew it to 219. Because in theory, you could bounce. But that is coming way down in that structure. You'd like to show some kind of strength if we're going to do something like that. But we do have to respect that $2.19. So technically, I should have drew it. Like, if it should have been drawn more like, I would have to put this out here. Let's do the little stencil in. It should have technically been drawn down to 219. Something like this. Yeah, I guess that doesn't break the structure. Because we have very profound support at that 219 level. And once that support breaks, then that would allow the bounce off, come back to retest, and then it's either you bounce off here, or it'll give you, again, the strength to come to that $1.77 to a $1.82 zone. But with the way it's set up, you got to break what looks like the start of an inverse right shoulder. That's what it looks like to me. Until it isn't, you have to respect the pattern because you already put it in an inverse left shoulder and an inverse head. So you have to at least respect that. And if that breaks, then we come back down to the support structure, which we can identify as starting a channel here. So that's why we're range bound right now. So I know that's getting a little messy, and I'll delete some of that, but we're technically range bound. So at the bottom of the range is 206 in real time. And if we come back to the top of the range, it's somewhere around 262. Let's see. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things, guys. So don't get too caught up in this short-term micro movement. Pay attention to the more macro surroundings within the micro time frames. That would be my honest. That'd be my honest talk to anybody, especially if you're new. Just be honest with yourself. Like, we can do something like this. Oh, that looks like hell. What the hell? TradingView still can't figure it out, man. They used to have it awesome. You used to be able to use this tool without having to delete anything. Then for some reason in an update, they made it to where you can't delete it in real time, which I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But anyhow, that's what I'd be looking for. So you look for this to round and start filling this out and then start bouncing back. Maybe it back tests it on the way out too and then tries to bounce out. Creates its own little pattern. Because then you could say, oh, well, look, it's creating an inverse head and shoulders within an inverse head and shoulders. That's technically what I like to see. So we'll see. Otherwise, it goes right to 206. If this structure breaks what I just drew, it's great. Well, it's not great, but you'll know that you're going to 206. Well, it's actually a little bit lower. Because in real time, we're acting like it's going to move down a little bit farther. Maybe it takes till tomorrow. Today, who knows? But that's 204 now. I mean, you're starting to trend on the line of, uh-oh. Because once you get under $2, you can have that. You can always have a wick fallout. Because then people, once you get under $2, you're going to get a lot of dead weight. You're going to get a lot of people that say, I knew it. I knew it. XRP, it's a hype coin. I knew it. Completely misrepresenting what's actually happening in real time. But it's okay. We want more people to feel like XRP's a hype coin. Whoops, I did not want to do that. We want more people to be like XRP's a hype coin. Good. We feed. XRP will feed off of that. The community will be better. It always is. And look, you've already got the buildings of the higher levels. So if this breaks out, you've already got the buildings to where you could break out of here. We've got to see this build, though. If it doesn't build, you'll have the makings of, uh-oh. Because in the time right now when we should get some kind of momentum, like anybody paying attention to the charts, like an algorithm or a trading bot, if somebody's paying a trading bot to trade, which a lot of people do, believe it or not, it's so crazy. I talk about it like back in the day with the poker, when you used to play Texas Hold'em and they'd have the Hold'em bots and you used to be able to identify it so easy. I used to be so happy when I was playing before it all got banned. And now they brought some of it back, but they banned it outright, like full tilt poker and all that. But I used to get so happy when I knew I was in the room with some bots. Because you could tell. You'd be like, no idiot would do this every single time. So then you would just play against the bot. So right now, if it's an algorithm and a bot, they're going to try to fill out exactly what I showed. Because it's just an algorithm. They know the maximum capacity to leverage in and out every single person. Yesterday was perfect. Everybody said, would you buy it here? I said, no, I wouldn't buy it here. I would have bought it on that second drop, and then we'll see what happens. Because then you always have the ability now to play the market. Because you don't want to buy it on the green. Because now look what happens. All of a sudden now on, even IOTA down 2%, I'll go down 1.6%. And it's not a bad loss, don't get me wrong. But nobody wants to come in down like XRP 3.6% now. As to where if they bought it when it was at 206, they're still looking at a pretty healthy gain right now. And you can watch the correction. It's one of those things you want to be in control of the correction, not at the behooving of the market. But if you're comfortable in what you hold right now, I got one good thing to say to you right now. Like start looking at the stochastic big time in the higher time frames. Like the stochastic is starting to tell us why the hell is it up there? Anyhow, the stochastic is starting to tell us a lot of things. And I apologize for not paying attention to the comments. I have to get this out. I don't think a lot of people are necessarily going to be interested with this conversation, but I think the ones who are here are going to definitely it's going to definitely help you going forward if you pay attention to this little caveat here. And then we'll start getting into, I'll start looking at the people in the audience, start to try to answer some questions. Defined, I know I seen you in here, and I continue to pray for you, your wife Danielle. So give Divine a little bit of grace today. His father-in-law passed away. Hopefully that was okay for me to say. But we keep him in our prayers, Danielle, as her father passed, and just the safe crossing into the next chapter. I believe our vessel and our body is not the end; it's just the start. So we pray to Yahweh and Yeshua for the safe crossing, and ask for God's grace. Amen. So I don't even know if Define's in here. I haven't even looked at the comments yet, but if he's out in the abyss somewhere too. But the message, spiritual messages are passed, whether you hear it in person or not. So anyhow, the daily is oversold. We are coming up to the resistance tap, but this is either we're going to hit this strongly in resistance or we're just building the reversal right now. So I'm much happier where we're at now in the weekly. It's crossed over into the bullish territory in the stochastic. The daily's finally gotten into oversold to catch up to the weekly. The monthly's in a much more comfortable position now for XRP. It's under neutral now, which is technically at a point where it could reverse unless it sinks all the way through. And then we'll know if we come through with the pattern we set up. But we were in overbought just not too long ago here. And daily was overbought last week. Weekly was overbought, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So we're in a much better positioning here than we were just a few short weeks ago. Way better, about a month and a half ago now. But much better positioning. Like ridiculously better positioning. And you can't convince me that's not more of a flag setup that's based on the stochastic and everything else. there's got to be some upward volatility here. I don't know if it comes now, but it definitely, if this pattern holds the way it's set up, there's so much room to the upside that 386 is going to feel like it was a quick hop, skip, and a jump. If I was watching right now in the audience, what I would do, if I'm not an XRP and I'm not a financial advisor, but if I was somebody like, hey, I need to take a chance on XRP and I can't wait, I would wait until you see if we come down and build what we set up. Like, is this building an inverse pattern here discreetly? Like, is it building something like this? Because if it is, you know, yesterday, even like I said, that's topping, and that's why we put it right there. So you would have bought it at 241 just to watch it come right down into like the 219. Look at if this actually happened. You wonder why they do this before further moves. If this actually held. Now, in no way do we know if it's going to. I mean, you're talking about 9% correction in less than 24 hours. And all it did was build the right shoulder, if that's what's happening. But how many people are going to sit through almost 10%, 9%? Honestly, how many people are going to sit through that? They bought it 12 hours ago, and all of a sudden you're down 9%. Human nature says, this thing's a pile of crap. Not realizing that what you think is a pile of crap, just the person who bought it down here on the actual support structure, even if it comes down here, they're like, I'm up 6.6%, and let me see if this actually builds out an inverted pattern. Now, yeah, could you have sold out for a quick trade? I mean, if you're in for a swing trade, yeah, that's 17%, but I don't really think most people are buying this for a swing. I'm not, if I was buying it right now. I'm looking for when this actual reversal happens so we can start to continue without putting too much risk on myself. So if it comes back through and it breaks where I bought it, maybe I say if that inverse right shoulder doesn't pan out, and it gets to 5%, I'm out. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't, but I would have to prove to me this structure is going to break, and then I would try again at the next level down, $1.77 to $1.82. But right now, it's got to prove to me that it wants to bust this structure. Like, let's see if we get a big, strong sell candle, and if we do, okay, carry on. Carry on. But we're starting to get more towards our levels, big time. Oh, it's going to be a big bear reversal, and everybody's going to be, oh, man. I can feel it in my heart. Once it's going to happen, and watch what's going to happen with the fear and greed as my controller just flies away. It doesn't even want to see what comes next. Fear and greed's back to 27. I mean, wait until you see what happens in the next 8 hours and 56 minutes with this red. This red is going to knock it down quick. Quick. Like, I love what I'm seeing now. Last week, fear was at 34. You'd think fear would be not as bad this week after that drop down because you're getting a little more confirmation bias by selling out some of the, like, the overbought conditions are legitimately being reversed in real time without acknowledgement. Remember when it was in greed at 70 last month and everybody wanted to pile into crypto? And I said, please be liquid. Please. The conditions are not met right now. There's not quantitative tightening. There's not the real rate cuts that we need. And we were talking before that, not this last quarter point, but the one before that. I said, when they give us a quarter point, it's going to crash the markets. Because there's no easing yet. Or they're still tightening with the illusion. They foster the illusion until the easing stops. And then what happens? The market crashes. And that's not because I'm smarter. It's just there's certain metrics that are being met. Now, when you get into fear and extreme fear, you have to start to look at certain things. Like once I see fear and extreme fear start, I start to really pay attention to the stochastic. And then I also start to pay attention to one other thing, which we'll talk about, but I don't want to overplay this point. But the stochastic is the stochastic RSI. So the stock RSI, if you're looking it up, is the easiest way to find it. STOCH RSI if you're looking in the indicators. But it's the stochastic RSI. It's very sensitive. Unlike the regular relative strength index, this is very sensitive to movements incoming. Very sensitive. It weights a lot more weight on the today movement rather than the yesterday movement. So it's got a better vibe and feel of the market. RSI lags big time. Big time. And it takes a while to catch up. So I like to couple that together. So now when we start to see fear and extreme, we're right back in extreme fear once this comes back out. We're like 2 points off of extreme fear. It'll be back in extreme fear now with what's going on in the market. I guarantee it. It might even be under 20 today. People are literally selling out at losses now. They're taking market prices. Oh, what the hell is that indicator? Um, there's an indicator, if anybody remembers. I can't remember the name of it, but it tells you the bias of somebody buying and selling. Whether they're selling out at market orders on a drop, or they willing to take profit, or they selling out of profit because they're just done and they don't care what the price is. That's over. Like that panic sell. The panic sell indicator has gone way up. That's a good sign. So I expect this to be an extreme fear when this resets. In 8 hours and 53. What is it in real time? I can't remember the one that shows it in real time. Let's see. I don't know if this. No, this isn't the right. This one, for some reason, it never shows it the way we want. There was one that actually shows it in real time that we thought was actually doing a good job, and we were watching. No, see, that's not it. Some of them are just so off. Nah, whatever. The point remains. We'll have to wait for this to update here. But this is the one you should trust. This is the one that actually keeps you more engaged. So anyhow, we've got that, and then we couple it with the, and we could very well start the reversal now if it's on an inverse head and shoulder. I don't need to come farther. I'm just saying 219 is to me, the make it or break it level. I prefer for it to turn up. I guess if you want to fill out like the other side, it might be speaking to like that 223. I don't know. If it's gonna do it, it's gonna do it soon. 4 hourly's overbought, so that would suggest that maybe we do dump out a little bit more. Catch back up to the daily and the weekly and the oversold. 2 hourly's quickly catching up. Hourly's oversold. 45 is gonna be moving up, but still oversold. 30's moving up. Hey, moving back down. Actually, no, this is good. Oh, if we get to that 219, this would be great. The 4 hour is going to catch up to the rest. If you see the 4 hourly, oh, maybe not. Would that be enough to push it through? Maybe. But at least push it into an area where we could push out very quickly. We're at an interesting spot because that death cross, if this doesn't get some momentum to push back up and through, I mean, it could come all the way back down there. So we want to stay positive and not look for that downward momentum. But I'll just shut up now, and I'll start talking to some people, say hi, and show my respect and gratitude for everybody. Frankie Fresh, welcome in along with Dirty Train. Good morning, and thanks for being in Tom Darn for 6 months with the XRP Predictor. New Yorkers are just as dumb as the rest of people who actually vote nowadays and believe in politics. The funny truth is, it didn't matter who you voted for. The same crap was going to happen. And then they'll foster the illusion if you were on the right that got voted, and then they'll vote somebody on the left and do the same thing, and then the people on the left will be happy, and the right will complain, piss, and moan, and then the next time they'll vote in somebody on the right that does the same thing, and the people on the right will rejoice, and people on the left will call them scumbags. Then the next time or 2 times down, they'll put another person on the left, and the right will call them scumbags, and the left will rejoice. But they're rejoicing and calling each other scumbags over the same bullshit narratives just because the left or the right is in office, because we have our alignment. Oh, the blue man and the red man. Oh, the tinny tin tin. But I don't like politics because it divides us, just like racism divides us. Oh, so much racism. Yeah, oh, there's so much. No, there's not. We just have a lot of victimhood mentality. So, go look at yesteryear. That's real. That's real. Go live like my grandpa did back in Italy when Mussolini came in. And they were hanging their people and imprisoning them and putting them in the gas chamber until their own people hung Mussolini by, his own statue. That's real. That's a real. We need survival. Now we're like, oh, our mentality. We have so much depression. I got news for you. Every era has had the same amount of depression, if not worse. We're just, I don't know. It's that victim mindset we always have. But we're positive in this community. So we try to look at we can control what we can control. And what we can control is try to create our own central bank, which is having gold and silver reserves. Understanding we need to own some kind of mining companies that do get these out of the ground. They do pay dividends, which is like our royalty for believing in them, but we have to find the right ones. You want to have some useless, but you have to have it. Unit of debts, which is an IOU, which is the US dollar, which is a currency, not money. But you need that too to spend, pay bills, and do what you got to do. Or when opportunity happens, when the market falls out, you want to have some of that on hand. You have to have crypto, even though it's speculative. If you find the right ones at the right time at the right price, you're going to make exponential money that you can now rinse and repeat and put it back into gold and silver. And keep, obviously, a good amount, too, in crypto. And then you can start building the portfolio up. And before you know it, we can become millionaires together. I haven't got there yet. About halfway there. Halfway there as far as an asset millionaire, if you want to call it, between everything and whole. But the journey is to get there together. So it's been almost 5 years since I started this channel. But this is going to be the most monumental movement when we get into this next part. And that's the hardest part to explain to everybody. Like, yeah, this is what's happening. We already knew this was happening. So it's either going to happen like this, or, you know, if this is a rising wedge and it falls out, we know, I mean, you can come all the way back to 72, 55, 52. And if that happens, I don't understand why we would be mad. So if it falls out like that, we know areas of uh-oh. And like, the cool thing is right now, even Bitcoin, when everybody thinks, okay, Bitcoin's done, I hate to break it to you. Bitcoin is so oversold in the weekly, so now oversold in the daily, took out that 98,784 area. Even if this is a rising wedge, the apex point isn't until November of next year. We're 1 year early, which means that Bitcoin likely has 1, 2, maybe even 3 bounces up still before it should theoretically break this formation. It's so early still to break this entirely. If that's what this structure is, it's early. You don't break down or break out typically before 70% of the move. Not just that. If that's what this is, tell me one thing that's missing out of this picture if we go into the weekly. If this really is an M-topping reversal and Bitcoin's done, isn't this missing? Hey, everybody, where's my shoulder at on the way back out? Or, I don't know, maybe, because it seems like you're missing this because you have this. You have the down point. You're missing the last up attempt. Because in a topping reversal, you need to have this area. You need to come back up. You need to have a shoulder. You need to have the down play. We have the down play. Where's the back up? The up would even bring us into the 120 range. So, couple that with the weekly being massively oversold in the stochastic, daily massively oversold in the stochastic, monthly almost into oversold territory. It tells me we're probably closer to the bottom than not. But I also am not inept. So if we come back down below 98,700 and I put it at 784, we're coming to 92,411. And that would fill an FVG. But then if that happens, you can't, like, again, you're looking opportunity in the face. So it's like, okay, well, IOTA, I went from 80,000 to 100,000, from 40 to 80 to 100 by doing this. Now, if IOTA falls out the next time I have to do this, if IOTA falls out, oh man, where's that stupid, oh, it's the next one. One of them I have it set up perfectly because I need to keep this in place. I don't remember which one. Nope, it's definitely not that one. Ah, there it is. So, with IOTA, because you could technically ride it all the way to 11.4 now and be like, okay, that's my guiding stone, but, you know, that could be the next area to pick it back up, too, depending on what kind of exchange you're on. So, like, that's just, I'm pretty content where I'm at with IOTA now. Like, in my wildest dreams, I didn't think I'd have 100,000 tokens, but that is a 12% drop. So in theory, if it were to break below, and it's dicey because it's risky, but if it were to break below 12.11, could you technically have a reposition potential? Yeah, I mean that's about 9% if it breaks that inverse structure setup. If it breaks this, my fear on some of this is if we break down and some of these and they all start to speak the same thing. And I think a lot of them are fostering an illogical illusion of what's probably not even going to happen because the wider pattern suggests that we probably shouldn't pay as much attention to this. But getting the rejection here, I mean, that does bring it perfectly. So, but it would give the illusion, though, and that's what you should be paying attention to what I just put. But this could foster an illogical illusion here that it's going to tell us we need to guarantee coming through. Now, it's, oh no, not from there. I'm sorry. The illusion, remember? Oh yeah, right here. This is it. So it's like a two-part drop. So to me, if you were going to sell out, it's more maybe not even taking the risk from selling out that initial part if it comes to 11.07 now. It's more about if it loses 11.07, knowing that it would drop like 40. That's not just IOTA. This is the whole market. So I'm trying to give you an overall feel of like what is actually happening here, not just, oh, let's harp on this because if this breaks, it's just, no, it's not. It's a series of events here. Bitcoin dominance is going up like we suspected. We've been talking about how this looks more flaggish than not, and this almost looked like just overzealous movement, but this looks like it's trying to push up. It's trying to melt back up to retest this wick, I think. And if that's the case, Bitcoin dominance is trying to put on a show here, which means Bitcoin is trying to catch its last-ditch support so that it can all of a sudden reverse for like a 6,000 to 8,000 point reversal. $6,000 to $8,000, and it could be pretty quick. I feel like we're setting up for a short squeeze with the way the stochastic and the way the fear and greed is setting up. Maybe it's not the run of all runs, but I feel like we're getting closer. We're getting close to mid-November here. It's November 6th. I've been sharing the same imagery with a different message for a long time about mid-November. And like the latest that I've been doing for the last 2 days is this one. And like this is very profound because the bags are being dropped right at the last second. Like literally everybody's making the ascension up the promised land, but we're dropping them at the last second. At the last second. And one of those is, some of them are my face on there too. I don't know if you noticed. If you zoom in very close. Are actually me in there. But it's just the bags are being dropped. I'd like to think my guy's the one picking the bags up after they're being dropped. But, you know, you can never know really back there. But I think that's how close we are. And I think these representations are... I really like the imagery now. But it's changed a little bit because we went through some things. You know, we've gone through some things. This was right when the drop was happening. Or when it was the second part of the drop was going to happen. I put this out. You know, and then it's just like I'm trying to evolve the imagery with the sentiment of the market. So pay attention, you know, to more than just the words. Pay attention to some of the messages hidden in between. Something that I'm trying to evolve on and trying to get better with the just the imagery. I feel like that can also pull people in and be like, ooh, look at that. That's nice. But pull people in for the right reason. 81 of you have hit that like button out of 127. That's amazing. Josh Jolly, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Arm for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Alec Tony, Mr. and Mrs. Stott, Mike B, David Hoff. Let's see. And Shane, thanks for being in Tom's Arm for 3+ months with the XRP Meteors. Areli, good morning, love, and thank you so much for continuing to tune in at hashtag gift the sub for Areli. It's never happened yet, though, unfortunately. With all the gifted subs, never went in that direction, which is a shame. A shame, I tell you. Alice Wiggins, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Arm for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens, along with Scott Lowry. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. More than you'll ever know. Scotty Trades, good morning, along with John Hall, Rejuvenated Drift. Thanks for being in town every second month with Dust House Crypto News. And Scotty Trades, thanks for being very trusted mod in here on the Telegram. Yes, Mike B. BITUNIX, a lot of people are stopping using it, but I still encourage people to download it and use it because it's still available for me in the USA. To me, it's still A1 as far as usability. It's still my favorite exchange. Zero question. The way it's used. There's a link in the video description below and our pinned comments of this video for BITUNIX. It's the third link on this actual live. But honestly, for ease of I love BITUNIX. I wish more people would take advantage of it. It's just you have to be careful, you know, you got to pay attention to restrictions, but right now it's firmly available in my region. And yeah, it hasn't gone in the wrong way. There's still, it's a no KYC exchange. TOOBIT is where we do the copy trade. So if you're interested in copy trading and joining our Linea copy traders, we'll be adding over time. So every time I add to it, you'll be able to get in at the additional point. And then if you want IOTA, WeX is on there specifically for IOTA because they have spot IOTA. And it's my baby. I love IOTA. But yeah, I highly encourage you, especially if you're a leverage trader, I encourage you to try BITUNIX or TOOBIT because the fees are so cheap that there's no reason to piss away your money to the exchanges. And you have to have the tier 1 exchanges, like I have them as well. I have Crypto.com and Kraken. Crypto.com, I store my CRO on only, and then I use the Crypto Visa debit card. And then Kraken, I have my XDC, and that's where I bought it, and I have Kraken Pro, and their pricing is great. It's not as good as like BITUNIX or TOOBIT, so I would never leverage trade the futures on Kraken. It's way too expensive. If you're going to be a futures trader, just go to TOOBIT or BITUNIX, and those links are in the description of this live chat if you just go up to the pinned comment. So I only encourage that because I don't want you wasting your money on the other exchanges where it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's just, there's no point. And then I bought my algo when I rebought it on TOOBIT and I sent it to Kraken, the 40,000. I have my band that I bought on TOOBIT, the 10,000 when I rebought it and sent it back to Kraken. And you can do it through the Ethereum chain on, it's like $1 or whatever. From TOOBIT to Kraken. And then Epic I have on TOOBIT because they don't have it on Kraken. But I keep it on TOOBIT. And then I keep Linea on TOOBIT. And then like I said, I keep IOTA on, oh yeah. And on BITUNIX I keep Axelar. I have Axelar on BITUNIX. That's the big thing I keep on BITUNIX in spot. I could send it to Crypto.com, but they're not getting my money unless I have to. Yeah, B2 Gold at 376 is a phenomenal price. Where is it at now? Oh, 391. It was just at 376. I said I bought it at 375. 222 shares, the additional ones, because it back tested perfectly. Now, I don't know if this breaks down all the way. We have no way of knowing, honestly, guys. But I just know, I talked about Dolly Varden not so long ago about where I wanted to buy it back. And I talked about that 375, 350 range. And it's gotten into my area. It overzealously sold off back underneath this zone. So it could keep going down, but I'm okay. I'm content where I got to buy it. Weekly oversold. Daily's oversold like a son of a gun. Back down near the 200. I'm very happy. And if it continues down, that's just more opportunity to get a little bit deeper, in my opinion. So I'm happy with where this is transcending. Same thing with Silver Corp. I sold it plus $7. Almost $8. It was like $7.50. And this very well could play down, but this is just more opportunity to reinvest a little bit deeper. Daily's oversold. Weekly came way down, but it still could come down farther than the 20-day. But it's just, we'll see what happens. If it made me, if it comes down, I'll just buy more. I got extra savings here from kind of doing the shuffle. But it wasn't a lot of, well, with Silver Corp and Dolly Varden, they were wholesaled because those are my more speculative ones. And I was waiting for a reversal shuffle, and that's exactly what happened. A big shuffle. So I feel more whole now today, that's for sure. But big things are going to happen here. Big things. First Majestic gave a great opportunity yesterday. They just showed the entire market that they weren't selling at the cheaper silver prices. And when they do the next earnings, either Q1 or Q2 of 26, they're going to explode. Because they're going to get higher value. Silver's going to be higher priced by mid next year than it is now. Anyhow, I digress. But the exchanges are there. All the information I know is within. But I'm also reading through the comments because I like to read what everybody says too. So I like seeing XDCs up 3.45%. It makes everybody feel good who bought, you know, a couple $100 worth if you did. I added to mine. I have 154,000 XDC, and I'm going to continue to buy $250 a week on Winning Wednesdays, much like we used to do H-Bar, because I feel like it's so super cheap now. And if it goes down, the happier we get because we get more and more per purchase. But that to me is like missing XRP. Cheap. You're getting XDC like XRP right now. This would be the equivalent of it being around 54 cents, in my opinion, is where XDC's at. Because it's not apples to apples, but this would be like XRP being closer to 54 cents instead of $2.25. But I'm going to do that until it hits 10 cents. We're going to do Winning Wednesdays, and we'll see how much we can end up acquiring. So if it goes down to 2.8 on the way down, we're going to get a lot more per the weekly $250 purchases. If it goes up, we're going to get a lot less for our $250 weekly purchase. So, unless we run out of money, I'm not saying you have to do that. You can do $50 if you want. That's just, I told the audience that's what I was going to do. That's how much I believe in XDC. But we're still waiting to see if XRP comes down to that 219, fills out more of a pattern like this in the shorter time frames. It's easier to see. Let's see if it fills out more of a pattern like this. Otherwise, we come down to 204, and then very likely we could see 177 to $1.82 if we break this kind of a structure. So I want that to be ingrained in everybody's skull this morning. John Patak, welcome in, and thanks for being in Towns Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Glenn Barlow and John Bugathorpe, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So Badge. Thank you, Glenn. And welcome in from England, mate. I appreciate it. And morning to you, John, Mr. Bugathorpe. Let's see. Good morning, Hope Botanicals from Las Vegas in the first month of Tom's Army, along with Anthony Venegas with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. From Vegas is Hope. Welcome in from Vegas, Sin City. The land of broken dreams. Crypto Cruder, welcome in. Along with the Cannabis Podcast. Amanda, thanks for being in Towns Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And Crypto Cruder, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Omar, good morning, and thanks for being in Towns Army for 2+, or your second month with the Dusty Hours Crypto News. The Michigan, it was longer yesterday. I'm going to redo the intro because I don't think it came through very good because I cut myself off. Frankie says, you're wrong, Tom. We do care about that sector. At least I do. I know a few of you do. That's why I talk about it. Plus, I love it. So I'm going to keep talking about it. But a lot of people get mad when I talk about it. As you'll see when I talk about commodities, about 20% of the viewing audience immediately leaves. Maybe 30%. It's incredible. But for Omar, I'll redo the intro without interruption. Good morning. 10:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, November 6th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. There you go, Omar. Just for you, my friend. Just for you. Let's see. Robert, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Define, welcome in. And our blessings, heart and prayers. You and your wife, the whole family. Thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. And Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And says, hey, everyone, hit that like on the way in. Consider how far behind am I? 48 minutes. Holy moly. Or 38 minutes on these comments. Consider subscribing and joining Tom's Army for the best technical analysis on YouTube. If you're not in the Telegram, what are you waiting for? Missing out. I could not agree with that more. Completely missing out. Mosey here, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. David Hoff, thanks for being in town 3+ months with the XP Media. Says, for anyone new here and feeling lost, this page is gold. I didn't know a single thing when I first joined, but I listened, learned, and even asked what I thought were silly questions and got amazing answers every time. What this family has taught me is unreal. Even something as simple as learning how to compare to a chart between 1 hour, 1 month, or 1 year ago and make decisions from it has been phenomenal. I knew nothing before I met all of you, and I'm beyond grateful. If you're on the fence about joining this group, do it. I promise you won't regret it. Wow. That's a nice ringing endorsement, David. I really appreciate that, my friend. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XP Media as well. That was really nice. Thank you for taking the time to write that, too. Glaucoma. Clever name. Good morning, along with Ken Saunders. You know, you might know Mr. Saunders, very famous for his fudge. Very famous Saunders hot fudge. Oh, is that the wrong Saunders? I'm sorry. He says bids at $1.75, $1.80, and $2.05. Not bad pricing. If we come down there, those are good spots. Those are perfect spots, right on good areas. AUB, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So bad. Just taking the elevator down. Indeed. We very well could be. City Guyable, no. TOOBIT used to restrict the USA. They actually are unrestricting the regions in the USA. It's quite the opposite. New York, they just unrestricted, as a matter of fact. If you look up in Google and you do just a quick search, you might see that. But they're actually expanding into the USA now. That's why I started using them. They were away from them for a while, just like most exchanges, but they started to reintegrate back into the USA. But if you're worried about that, right now BITUNIX has more access across the USA, but they're starting to do the kind of the pull away in certain sections. Like ROMAT, it's perfectly fine. So that's kind of like the opposite. One's starting to reintegrate, and one's not technically going away, but they're not incorporating further expansion into our region. Let's see. Hope that explains it good. Alec Tony, welcome in, and thanks for being in town 3+ months with the XP Media. Mario Louise Willemese, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And I was proud when we had a gifted sub. I don't remember who it was, me or somebody else. But I remember when you got gifted the sub and I said, now this is a very worthwhile one. Someone who's been here for a very long time. This is a deserving person who has the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens and in Tom's Army. So make sure you go into YouTube in the members only section of the post and get the Telegram link, Mario Louise Willemese, and join us in the Telegram. You've been around for so long, it would be an honor. EOC says, just started a bag of XTC last night during your live. Thanks, Tom. Hey, you're welcome. Don't take me up because we might still be buying them cheaper when we do it on Winning Wednesdays. But definitely a good start. I don't remember what the price was last night, to be honest with you. It was down. And we're sitting there going, hey, this is a little too cheap here. But we are overbought right now in the metric. But where were we at last night? What is it? 1034. So we'll just say 6, 2, 10, 6. No, it would have been this. Maybe this candle somewhere in here. 23 to 19. Or it was either this candle or this candle. Somewhere. I don't remember. But it's nice to see it's up 3.5% today. Very nice. IBM, good morning. Let's see. Let's see. Arichi Farms, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm not trying to skip everybody's comment, but I wanted to make sure I said hello to everybody, and I was way behind. Lonzo, good morning. Fast Eddie, good morning. Telegram is an app in the Play Store or Apple Store. Yeah, you can. Or I suggest don't go to the Telegram. Don't go to the Apple Store or the Google Play. Go to telegram.org and download it, and you won't have any restrictions. When you download it from the Google Play Store, they can download and put different restrictions that they see fit. If you download the APK package at telegram.org, it's unrestricted. And you'll notice the difference because the telegram.org one is blue, as you can see on my left side of my screen. The other one I don't have on here anymore, I don't think. But it's white. Yeah, I don't have it anymore. But the old Telegram is white. So if you go to the Google Play Store, it looks like this. And I just personally suggest if you have it through the Play Store or all those, get rid of it. I promise you, get rid of it. This is the one in Telegram. It's white. Get rid of that one. Get the blue one, telegram.org. Just download the APK pack. I think it's telegram.org still. Let me see if they changed it. Telegram. And this is not even if you're using it for me. If you just use it in general, go to telegram.org and get the real APK. Android or iPad, just get it. Just download it from here. You don't do it from the App Store. This has how it was meant to be with the actual true privacy. The one in the App Store, it leaves your privacy open for breaching, let's just say. So anyhow, just a tip from me to you. One more day until the weekend. The question is just like Crypto Cruder said. Is it a pump coming or are we down to 92K? Wait a minute. SHX is on. Lonzo, are you serious? That would be the news of the century that I can put on my chart if it is in fact on crack. And that, holy shit balls. Oh, sorry. Sorry for the language, but that, everybody knows how long I've been waiting for SHX to come to one of my exchanges. Are you? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Game changer. Reevaluation. Oh, now I got to make a reevaluation. Now I have to ask myself the real question. Can I hold that when SHX is available? Probably not. Probably not. Oh, this is exciting as hell. This is years in the making. And it's all so cheap now. We can't look at this chart because we can't look at the Kraken chart. But we got to look at one where it's been a while. We used to track this a long time. Oh, yeah, see? Oh, yes. We used to talk about this long ago. Years ago. I was talking about this in 21. The shame is it did exactly what we talked about back then. That's the shame. The good news is we're getting a second chance because now it's listed. But look, it went through every single area we talked about in 21. That is so crazy. I stopped looking at it because I didn't want to watch it per se. But look how accurate this was. It even came up over and this ended up being the resistance support line that it didn't hold. Came back and now it's through the 114. Next is 00835. I mean, this did it like a champ. This is almost, it's probably oversold like a son of a bitch. Weekly massively oversold. Down. Oh. Who just said that? Lonzo, you just made my year.
You are really strong. Some would say geniuses and coming up with these products. And
yeah, that's exactly what has to happen. I got to get rid of Dent. As much as I like Dent. I mean, this almost comes into territory. Ooh, this is big. This is fucking, excuse me, this is big. This is big. This goes right to the top of my list on this page. That's like, I put this in just as high regards with what I think it can do in the future as any of them. This actually changes the wheel for me a little bit. I got a decision to make here. I don't think I can go forward with this particular token now. Not Stronghold. I'm talking about, I don't know if I can keep holding Dent. Because I want utility over speculation, and Stronghold, that ain't speculation when you get it at the right price. That's not speculation. I mean, although, oh, that's so brutal. That is such a good, oh my goodness. Maybe I'll just expand into it and keep what I have and just ride them all. That's probably what I'll do. So oversold in the weekly. I feel like we're getting towards, if this drops, this is like getting towards this last drop. Oh, I agree, Lonzo. Stronghold, just like XDC, Stronghold's another section. Oh my goodness. I I have not talked about it in so long because I've been so mad, not mad, but just it's almost like an empty feeling when you look at something but you know you can't buy it in the right way. Let's see. Now we gotta get nuts and bolts for anybody who's just thinking about this. That's the only thing. Look how many tokens we have. That's the one thing that's always astounding. 5.37 billion tokens, but they have a max supply of 100 billion. That's interesting to me still that they only have that much in circulation. That means they've got a 90% inflation ratio. That's why it's all about the pricing. All-time highs was... That's a big one. Nah, that would probably be... When it becomes the time, I would tell everybody when I start buying that. But that's a big one. That's one I wanted for years. Oh, Lonzo knows his stuff. Lonzo definitely knows his stuff. He has a very strong track record, let me tell you. Mr. Carter, welcome in. Hashtag M2C, mother's second choice. Out in the Outback. Thanks for being in town for 3+ years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. What a long-term support. And also, Mr. Carter is a proponent of XDC as well. He knows a thing or two about XDC. In fact, big time proponent. I did a little bit of XDC. Mosey here, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Oh, thank you, Lonzo. See, Lonzo says, let's read through his comments. I love when he talks about it. He's very passionate about SHX. We used to have these conversations years ago. Oh, it's so nice. SHX is the payment corridor for a lot of other coins. That's why they own ISO 20022 Labs. Oh, man. On sale now. You have to trade XLM for it when I did it. Which one are you talking about, Matt? I bought it at 2 cents, says Matt. I'm assuming. Which one are you talking about? Stronghold?
Maybe I should just go by Peter now? Peter Davidson. Not bad.
And what do you think SHX will go to? Hey, we can do a real analysis on it today for the first time in a long time. I mean, I had this set up for the move up, but let's assume. So here's the cool thing about this if we rework this. And I kind of want to keep the support resistance layers because this reminds me of the past parts of the pattern, which is how we can delegate the layers. But the cool thing, just watch this real quick. We have the resistance to resistance. Now, those are the wicks. If you come through from the base, and you take out that wick, and you just come through the body, on both, you actually have the support. Like you're in a real strong support. And the importance of this, it's actually pretty important. Came up. It almost came up too high. It redid this. And you can, here, let me just draw this out completely. We're going to have to redo this. Otherwise, this is going to look messy. And I like all these old areas, but now we don't have to speculate. Study chart scenarios and outcome potentials for Steven, November 16, 2024. That's when we did this. I did that on, we did that again. And that was the potentials for Steven going out to 2024. No wonder we did that. That was when we did it. That was the note. That's so funny. These are the scenarios and outcome potentials for Steven going to November 16th, 2024. I'd say we did a pretty good job doing it years before. That is so freaking cool. I used to get Flare tokens for free, and then that's when I was on Uphold. I used to get them because I held XRP at Uphold years ago, but no, not anymore. I don't do any of it with Flare, to be honest with you. It's not worth my time. I mean, it is and it isn't. I would do it like that. I would want to come through the real areas right there. Wow, Steven's fucking real happy if he followed that analysis from 2021. He cooked. He absolutely cooked.
You, with one of the greatest competitors of all time, are competing in this space. What does PIP IQ do that ChatGPT doesn't?
Interesting. When you start looking at it like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, thank you for having us, Matt.
Make sure we hit it perfectly. It's interesting when you start looking at it in this regard. But that's been a very big downturn from here, like huge downturn from the top. I would imagine the Kraken listing down the road, it's going to pay dividends. Right now, it's not going to be able to overcome the market cycle with what's happening. So when it started, it was down here in 20. Or this was in 24, and we did. I don't know. I remember doing this a long time ago on another chart too. It was way more done than this one when I showed. Anyhow, who cares? 2953 is where it basically started. Now it's at. So that was 0026. Right now we're teetering on falling below a penny. If this actually played back down, let's just say this, for whatever reason, starts playing back down. If it breaks this structure and it comes all the way back down to the bottom, let's see where the uptrend is. Like the actual, where this started. Just let's just say it breaks out of this, because it's already below this actual entire setup. Let's just say for the hell of it, it wants to do something like this, and it wants to reestablish that base. That would suggest maybe 0049. If it's got to come down there, that would be very interesting here. So, because we're below here, that brings into the possibilities. I gotta get going here. I gotta finish something for Julie before she gets back home. We got her sister's wedding on Saturday. I gotta finish something, so she's out doing what she's doing, and I gotta finish what I promised. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Thank you so much for giving me the privilege of watching for this last hour. I'll be back tonight. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. It's going to be, I believe SHS will eventually end up on XPR Proton Layer 0 because XPR can provide infinity transactions per second through subnets. Yep. That's actually, I like that thinking. I wish XPR was on more exchanges, actually. That's another one. At the right price can be very, very lucrative. I wish we could speculate on when to buy it together. Like, if it breaks down, the coup de grace would be back at 002 approximately. But as long as this pattern stays set up, this needs to hold like 0037-ish. No, it doesn't. It can come a little bit farther. Yeah, but anyhow,